traveling to Cape Town, where we're going to be speaking to Ipeleng Khonou. Ipeleng now joins us from our studio in Cape Town. Tell us a little bit more about it. I mean, what was it? You know, when did you come to understand what it is that you are able and unable to do in life?
Basically, at some point, I needed to have an eye test, and the doctor told me that, like, listen, there is some kind of pressure on your brain, and we needed to check it out. And, well, I ended up being told that, listen, you are born without balance, and yeah, are you going to deal with it or not?
But you haven't let that, hinder your life in any way. I mean, from school, when you were at school, to matriculating, you didn't let that stop you. You still went on and wanted to achieve things that most thought you could never.
No, not at all. Hey, in fact, it has spurred me on, hey.
Tell me about some of the achievements that you've been able in your life to go out there and achieve despite this disease that was supposed to press you down and keep you seated and in bed and never leaving the house.
One memorable one is, I think in 2003, I was a wheelchair athlete at the SA Games, and I had an operation in 2004, and 2005, I was a running athlete. Unfortunately, I didn't have a category to run with, but the amazing thing is I ran against the world champion at the time, which was the Khalahadi.
And it's important that you say this, and I want to just show a clip of how it is that you run, because the reason they didn't have a category for you is because it's never been done. There's nobody that at the time was willing to do it. You run with your crutches.
Yes, sir.
And when did you tell me about that moment when you realized I can actually do this? I mean, you use more strength than most. You need to use your upper body strength. You need to use, your leg strength as well. When did you realize that this was possible? You can do it.
At some point, I was seriously overweight, and well, I thought, well, let me just try and give at least 1K a run, and yeah. 1K before the end of the week became 5Ks, and I decided, well, I'm enjoying this, and yeah, I was running at Omdidam the following year, which was my first race. It was in 2017.
Ke nana fela Ipeleng batho ba ntse ba o bona o matha ka tsela o mathang ka yona, tseleng ba o lebelela ka yona, tseleng ba o makalla ka yona, o ntse o matha ba iputse re go diralang mo.
Yeah, I mean, I've been getting it quite a lot. Hey, like every race, people, like, obviously, there's been those that have taken bet. I remember this one guy and his wife made a bet saying that, like, this guy will not finish before us, or, something along those lines. And I ended up beating them, which was quite nice.
Ipeleng was on my radio show on Radio 2000 last week with Lebo Mutswedi hosting it, as I am here for Thomas Mlambo. And you said on that show that you are unable to get to your dream, to make history, to be the first to run it the way that you run it, the two oceans is, but you needed to get to Cape Town. Somebody was listening, and you are now in Cape Town. Tell me about that.
Yes, it happened that I think it's Deputy Minister in the Higher Education, Mr. Puti Manamela, was listening, and yeah, they managed to pay out for my flights, and yeah, I'm in Cape Town now.
The power of SABC, the power of SABC radio. There he is now, Ipeleng Khonou. He is in Cape Town. For those that don't know what this historic moment is, what are you doing in Cape Town?
I'm actually here to raise funds for the Nelson Mandela Children's Funds, and I'm here to run for the whole country, hey, hoping that everyone will donate money to raise money for the Mandela Children's Fund.
How many kilometers are you running?
I'm running 21.
21 kilometers. In the manner that you run, with your crutches, you are going to run the two oceans, 21 kilometers.
Yes, Thomas. Hey, I mean, when you've got the spirit of Nelson Mandela behind you and the whole country, which I'm hoping they're donating behind you, hey, you can even run 56.
Ah, Ipeleng, that is absolutely beautiful. We wish you all the best of luck. And I know there's a lot of people watching at home who have things that are pressing them down every day, who have things that, you know, they see as hills and mountains ahead of them. They're looking at this and they're saying, no, not today, not ever again, because you've given them that belief.
Thank you so much. Yeah.